So a lot of people are doing reactions when they actually leave the movie theater after watching Sound of Freedom. And a lot of those videos have gone viral, which I'm so glad, because the message of the movie is so important. I wanted to resist the urge to fight, to not do something on this movie, because I think that there are a sector of people that need to hear perhaps what I can say from some experience. And so if you've not seen the movie Sound of Freedom, I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts, but it is about human trafficking, and it's based on a true story, and done by Angel Studios, done very well. I would not say, I don't think it's fair to call it a faith-based movie. There is mention of God a couple times in the movie, but basically this is a good versus evil movie, the end, right? But the question is, should survivors of SA, and maybe more particularly childhood SA, and if you don't know what SA stands for, we just say that so that we don't get booted from platforms, but just think about it, what was happening to these kids that were being trafficked. Should survivors of that go see this movie? And so the reason I didn't get in my car and make a video when I first got out of the movie theater, because I was completely dazed and stunned and sad and empowered and angry, but I wasn't triggered. But that being said, you need to know, if you go see this movie, that while they do a very good job of kind of showing, not telling, kind of the opposite of that in some ways, like, you know what's going to happen, but they do a good job of, it's beautifully shot from a directorial standpoint. But there were times that I was watching like this, because that is in my history, as many of you know, and it was hard to watch. But the thing that I have, that if you don't have, you might want to consider not going to see this movie, are tools to get through those flashbacks and triggers that had the potential to happen to me in that movie theater. And as a matter of fact, there was one scene towards the end of the movie that I would say it's fair to say that it triggered my PTSD. But I have the tools, because I've been in years and years of counseling, to kind of get myself out of it. But I was very stunned when I walked out of that movie theater. So I would say to you, or to somebody you love who has this in their history, not being trafficked necessarily, but has been abused in this way in their history, I would be very careful about going to see this movie. So I'm going to be very different than most people who are doing these videos on YouTube. I'd be very, very careful if you don't feel like you have the tools to kind of watch in real life on this big screen this innate evilness that was also perpetrated against you when you were a child or as an adult, because it is heavy. It is important that we talk about these things. But for those of you in the trauma tribe, for those of you who have this in their history, be very, very careful about going to see this movie. The movie's made plenty of money. Plenty of people have watched it to be able to move the needle on this terrible, terrible, terrible thing that is going on in the world. The evilness in this world is what this movie is about. And so many of you have had evil perpetrated upon you in the most heinous ways. And if you've not walked through that and you've not dealt with that, I am recommending, just my opinion, a trauma survivor with a little bit of head knowledge, that you not go see the movie. When you are ready, the movie will be ready for you. But until you can even think about watching some of these atrocities played out on a screen, even though they beautifully directed it, think about how that's going to make you feel before you decide to go see the movie. And so that is hard for me to say, because I want this movie to continue to make money. I want people to keep seeing it. but I don't want a bunch of people who have this in their history to be incredibly traumatized. I didn't have words, and I would not say I'm traumatized because, again, I've got the skills, counseling to work through traumas like this. I will never see the movie again. I will tell you that. It's very good, and needed to be released and needs to be as popular as it is. But there are a group of people who probably should not watch it. And so I just wanted to weigh in here. I'm not trying to make this video go viral like so many on this movie have. If there's one of you out there that will think before you go in and see the movie how you're going to handle the emotional fallout, because even people who have not, I went to see it with 2 people who do not have that in their background, and we all walked out stunned. And so just be warned, if you have these things in your history, that this movie may not be for you right now. Now, as you get skills to help with your trauma, maybe that changes, but it may not be for you right now. And so that's my take on it. I hope that you guys have a great day. We are having one around here at the Wednesdays with Watson podcast as we are celebrating 100 episodes of bringing stories of hope and help. And so I hope that you guys think, and also if you have anybody in your life that has this in their history, just have a conversation before you go see the movie. If you have a therapist, ask your therapist if you should go see the movie. If the movie's doing fine, it doesn't need everybody. And so it may not be for you right now. And I know that's going to be a very unpopular opinion. And so anyway, you guys have a great one. You can find out more about me at WednesdaysWithWatson.com, or just continue to follow us here on YouTube and TikTok as we're trying to build these platforms. And so you guys have a great one.